All right. Is this gonna work? I wonder. Alrighty, now let's log on and see if anybody's around. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, logging on now. Ooh, Chonk is here. Chonk, man, what's up, man? What's up? SSL, afternoon. Hello, hello. How are you, fellas? Is the sound alright? Man, I'm on this journey to fight with the sound gods. I never know how to yeah, just let me know if this is alright, because as you know, I'm not the biggest and the best producer. So I put the mic now like right next to my mouth, so hopefully it freaking sounds alright and whatever. It's been a little while since I've done one of these lives. Probably 3 days or something. Still coughing up shit and still keen as hell to train. Boys, does this sound alright? Because I feel like I'm knocking it every 2 seconds. If I'm knocking it, just please tell me if the sound's good or bad. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Um, well, this is kind of annoying. Every time I look up, it's gonna hit me. Fuck, not good. It needs to be here. I don't know these things, man. Oh, excellent. Thanks, SSL. Nikola, hvala ti, brat. Okay, all right. Let's get on with it then, huh? So yeah, lots of thought in the last couple of days about all sorts of different things. Obviously, I'm keen to train like crazy. Spent basically 4 or 5 days on the couch. Uh, just reevaluating everything and trying to work out what to do over the winter, because I'm not keen for getting sick like this all the time. I can't do it anymore, man. I don't want to get sick like this anymore. And so the exercises that are really, really costing me are going to be the squats and deadlifts when I push them. I'm pushing deadlifts really, really hard now. And so I'm thinking about not doing that anymore until the warmer months. Last year, December, November was my deadlift period. And I was planning to do the same thing then for this year. And so, you know, we're in July now. So if I chill on the deadlift for a little while, pick up squats October, September, you know, something like that, maybe even August. By then, hopefully, by September, it should start to warm up a little bit, and everyone around me should get less sick, and you know, I'll have more room to push harder and to kind of live my life in a more fatigued state. But this is something that's a big concern in my life. Like basically, last 2 3 years, I've really gotten hammered. Obviously, I've got a young family, growing family, kids, you know, children, reception, childcare, all that stuff. Like it's all rolled into one. And over winter, people get sick. That's just the way it is. But if you're getting all that work in under the barbell and then also getting exposed to the same elements that people are not also under the barbells, you're gonna end up getting sick quite a lot. So what I'm thinking is for the next few months, at least for the next 3 months, I need to kind of make a plan of how to live with weights. And so straight away my mind goes, okay, you can just start working on the accessories and not die under the squat and the deadlift and all those variations. Doing a single squat every single day is not a problem. Doing a single on a deadlift every week is not a problem. I can do that, and I've done that with quite a good success. But what do I do? Yesterday, I thought, well, I can just go back to my accessories, right? I can live in this thing, I can live in that thing. For the lower body, just do that. Spent a lot of time with the lateral hip capsule. I've had good success in the past with that, without having these machines. But this is also making it really, really easy. So I can do that. Obviously, I'm not going to be happy about that. I think the deadlifts are going really well right now. And then for the upper body, I'm thinking continuing on with the bench. So bench over winter. I don't know. Is also bench too taxing? I don't know. Out of all the three lifts, I think the bench is by far the least taxing, if you're pushing it for volume. So I don't know. Anyway, like last night, I thought to myself I could go back to the elbow work on the elbows, get really kind of like strong in that. That's kind of cool. I can work on biceps. Like, even if I drop the bench press, basically drop SBD altogether in terms of volume work, and I just shift all my volume into, biceps, triceps, the push downs, a lot of elbow work. I don't know. This is the thing. Like, you can also get absolutely wasted with accessories as well, right? Like, it's not just the big stuff. Home gym physique. What's up, man? Danish shame. How are you, dude? Got the noro from my kids a few months ago, and I was legit shouting and vomiting. It was the worst sickness I've ever gotten in my life. Like you said, kids bring the latest sickness update. Oh, dude, I feel you. I feel you so much. Before the kids, I would rarely get sick, man. Rarely. Because you're keeping active, you're keeping fit. You're sleeping. I'm sleeping now as well. The kids are not that small anymore. But the kids bring this whole element in. And the other thing with the kids is that you're kissing them. You're kissing the kids all the time, right? Very close proximity. They're coughing in your face. And then everyone comes over, the grandparents come over, they kiss them. And so there's a whole lot of proximity going on everywhere, right? And everyone's sharing everything through the kids. So it's not just the kids, but the kids are the connector, right? And so, yeah, the kids are the common denominator here for sure. Jeff, hey, how are you, dude? Most folks I know with kids are getting sick all the time and they don't work out. There you go. Do I just not worry about it and just train and just cop it when it comes? Just cop it. Oh, Lord. It's just such misery. The last 4 or 5 days, it's been miserable, man. Can't sleep, not last night. Last night was not too bad. The night before, my head is pounding. Like every heartbeat, it's like boom, boom, pounding. And I'm like, there's no way I can lay in bed. And, I don't want to be coughing and waking the kids up and waking the wife up. We've got one of the kids in the bed with us right now, the 2-year-old. So I don't want to be waking them up. So I was like, I'm just going to pull up on the couch and I'll just kind of recline on the couch and sit upright and just kind of try and sleep upright. I fell asleep. Fell asleep around 1 a.m., woke up at 3 a.m. And I was like, fuck, my back is sore, my shoulders are sore, everything's sore. I have to go to bed, sleep, wake up, absolutely screwed. It's just shit misery. And so if I think about it, I'd love to do whatever I can to minimize that shit. Whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's just whatever I can do. Whatever I can do, I'll bloody do it, man. I just don't want to go through that again. But it looks like, Jeff, you're saying it doesn't really matter if you're training or not, you're still going to get it. Home Gym Physique says, do you ever train shoulders? I train shoulders every day, or at least when I bench press. I bench press when healthy. Oh God, when healthy, I train basically. I train my bench press 5 days a week. That's kind of been the average. I say every day, but some days I'm just freaking too sore and I can't do it. But in the last 2 weeks, it's been shocking. I've had just, I don't even know, like in the last 5 days I haven't trained bench at all. So there you go. Like, so every single time I train bench, I warm up my shoulders with the lateral raises. I don't know if you mean by that, but like I do kind of like a warm up, rehab for the shoulders for the bench press every single day. So that's kind of like my thing. Do I push them? Not very hard. There's just a warm up for me. Since getting the incline bench, I've been kind of incorporating that, or I incorporated once before I got sick. But yeah. And Jeff says, and they don't work in hospital. Yeah. Yep, that's the other thing. Ugh. Do I just not worry about it and just freaking hammer it? I don't bloody know, man. Rechamp says, hey man, hope all is well. Yeah, all good, dude. How are you? How are you going, man? Keeping vitamin D levels high is meant to help people healthy in general to fight against colds. Yeah, absolutely. I know that all too well. And this winter, I've done my absolute best to like sunbathe in the backyard. And so when I'm doing the lawns, topless. Every time the sun breaks through the clouds, I'll run outside and just take my stuff off and just chill outside with the kids, get their tops off, just try and soak in a bit of sun. It might be 15 minutes before the clouds come over again, but I really, really try and get that skin to sun exposure. And I was like smashing it. Like people were getting sick at work like 2 months ago, they started getting sick. And I'm like, no, I've got this. Like, I'll be able to like withstand it. And then the little guy got sick at the start of last week. And he's still kind of sick. Like he's just sniffling. And I was like, okay, this is the real test. This is the test. And freaking 5 days later, I start copping it. So it didn't help me, man. Do you do strict presses for shoulders? Nah, man, strict presses at all. Like as in shoulder presses, overhead presses, you mean? No, I don't do that at all anymore. That's completely fallen out. Oh, you're teaching nursing now? Yeah, I mean, it's very busy, very, very busy. As it always is. But I'm still enjoying it, dude. Like, I still enjoy the clinical. The clinical is, I'm going to try and last as long as I can. But I really want to stay in clinical for at least another, 10 years. I'm not made for the office, man. I'm not made for PowerPoints. I'm not made for, these type of areas. It's not exciting enough. Just don't like sitting. I don't like sitting. I don't like being that behind the computer, even though my job at work right now is still kind of behind the computer. When we're doing triaging, it's behind the computer, but at least I have to get up and, touch people's wrists and pulse and whatever, and assess them. So it still kind of feels exciting. I learn a lot when you're on the floor, as you'd know. There's always things happening, always, doing the whole clinical thing with the ECGs, ABGs. You always find different things to learn. There's machines coming in, different processes coming and going. So I still find it interesting, man. What are these crown symbols next to our names? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't see that. I can't see those crowns at all. I wish I was taking care of patients still. I just definitely would not work with my schedule of the school I work at. I get to teach clinical though, which I really enjoy. Yeah. Yeah. Teaching clinicals is probably the best way I go about it. Those workshops and whatnot. Oh, you had them as well, Jim. Oh, it's interesting. I can't see anything. Like, I mean, I am on this. I'm not even signed in here, so you know. I'm so I don't know what to do right now. Do I bench? Do I not? What I know I will do right now is I'll do a bit of this. I'll go squat, just singles, no straining. And then after that, I don't know. Or do I do bench press singles as well? That will kind of piss me off because then if I go to my 30 repper, oh, fucking hell, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel 100% right now anyway, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I want to do something. All right, 28. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. I could just spend an hour here and that's it. Got to run Ivan back to my desk. Working as a nurse sounds a lot more stimulating than working at a bank. Yeah, SSL. All the best, dude. Appreciate you for stopping by. Catch you next time. Jim says you might have to sign in. Yeah, I might have to sign in. Probably should sign in. I don't know if I sign in, does that knock me out of the live? Should I risk it? Should I also log in here while streaming logged in on that phone? The one that's recording all of this stuff. Should I log on here? Is this going to boot me? Some of you guys that are really good with this stuff. Is that going to boot me? How does it work? You can be logged into two places. Yeah, I don't know. Sign into chat. Ooh, should I do it? All right, let's do it. I don't know bloody what the email is. Which one do I sign in? All right. Of course, now the password. What did I reset the password to? Oh, fucking hell, man. feel like I go through this every single time. What is the password? Where did I set it at? Nah, screw it. I don't know the password, boys. Look at Jim, man. You're a machine. 190 front squat. Password 1234. Yeah, would make it easier, wouldn't it? Bloody hell, man. But with this whole YouTube thing, you can't even use the password you used to use back in the day, and it changes you. Oh my god, multiple devices. Log this one out, log this one on. A bloody nightmare. The leaderboard doesn't do much other than to show who has sent the most chats, but it maxes out at 75 for us all. Oh, okay. 5 rep max in the front squat is diabolical. Jesus, yeah, man. Oh my god, I feel like passing out just thinking about it. Home gym physique, get out of here, dude. Go sleep, man. 4 a.m. Damn, brother. You have a good night, man. Catch you next time. Oh, Jim, you know about this stuff. I've got no idea about any of this stuff. No idea. Oof. 10:42 p.m. for Joseph. Jim does know this stuff. Eastern time zone. It's like midday for me here. 12 o'clock. Oh. What is the temperature? Here, let me have a look. Does this phone have anything? Does it have a weather app? I don't know if it's... Oh, here we go, weather. What does it say right now? These old phones are a bit slower, aren't they? Damn. That's slow. It's probably the first time logging into a Weather Zone app in bloody, 5 years. Wow, that's not going to get in, is it? Let me get out of it. Let's try it again. Jesus, man. I can't tell you, dude, but it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold here, man. Especially this morning. Like in the early mornings, it's like damn near zero. It's like, you know, 2, 3 degrees or something. It's pretty cold. For us, here, we're used to temperatures of 40, degrees. So, when it hits, 1 or 2 degrees, it's a huge difference. So we're kind of being conditioned to like super, super warm weather in Australia. And so a lot of people are like, oh, Ivan, but like 1 or 2 degrees, that's not really cold. Well, it is when you think about the contrast that we go through. And I know some places have even a bigger contrast. Like I think some places like in Canada, one bloke said that the temperatures hit like 30, 35 degrees, yet they get to like -30 at some points, which is nuts, like 60 freaking swing, That is terrible, terrible. Like, I don't know how people live like that. 40 is enough for me, You can, here it gets like, almost every year it gets to like 41, 42, 43, that kind of thing. Bloody cold. Yeah, I'm in Adelaide, Jim. Yeah. Yep. Currently 68 Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is like, what's zero in Fahrenheit? Like 20 or something? What is it? How do we work out from Celsius to Fahrenheit? I forget. 32 is zero. Okay, so we just work with plus or minus 32. Is that how it works? Um, yeah, it's a terrible equation. It's like just makes no sense. Oh, it's a formula, right? So it's not a plus or minus thing. So it's not like linear at all. Of course, why would it be linear? Why would anything freaking in the world be simple, man, right? Degrees times 1.8 plus 32. Fucking hell. Shit. So degrees times 1.8. So let's say it's 5 degrees times 1.8, whatever the fuck that is. Let's say 10 degrees plus 32. So 46, 42 degrees. Right. Yeah. Why does that have to be 1.8? Why couldn't they just put 2, Like, bloody hell. Acclimatization makes people perceive cold and hot differently. People are making fun of England's heat wave, but to them it must have been brutal. Oh, that's it. Absolutely spot on, dude. Um, yeah, it's all about the what you're used to. If you take somebody from, I don't know, Siberia, and you take them out of their winter and you bring them to Adelaide here where it's 45. Or you go to like north where it's really, really hot, like Alice Springs. It's a desert. Alice Springs is like smack bang in the middle of Australia on the map. Ayers Rock, like it's a famous landmark. It's literally a red desert. You take them from Siberia to that joint, man, they're going to be in all sorts of strife. It's that, like you said, acclimatization. It's huge. You ever tried loo raises? Basically, you don't stop at the shoulder. You go, yeah, I know about loo raises as well. Yeah, I tried them. Definitely tried them. It's nice. And it really, really smashes everything. Not just the shoulders. I feel like it's the traps. It's freaking, I feel like the lats get a stretch. It's everything. I like them. I like loo raises. Why do I don't do that? Simply because when I do these lateral raises, I keep the shoulders in the same position, right? The scaps are like lowered. And I don't know what that does, but it just makes me feel like it mimics the bench press well. In the bench press, I'm never unpacking my shoulders. Like now my shoulders are rotating completely up and they're floating around. They're completely floating around. So I suppose Lou came up with it for a good reason. For overhead strength, you need Lou raises, right? Doing lateral raises will shorten some of these structures, and you're not gonna have that comfort up above. For me though, I just want to warm up the shoulders a little bit. I want to stretch the bicep. Like when I do this, if I don't shrug my shoulders up and curl the scapula around, when I do this, I depends on how I do it. Especially if I like depress my shoulders a little bit, I actually feel my bicep stretch. Whereas if I shrug and do the whole Lou raise thing, I'm kind of running away from the bicep stretch in a way. And when I'm benching really wide, I always feel like my biceps tend to kind of get tight. It's really weird. Like who would have thought biceps get any action in the bench press? But in the wide, they kind of do. It's weird. But yeah, it's a good help for me at least to do the normal lateral raises. All right. Man, this fucking feels so good. God, that whole hip pain spot that used to give me hip pain literally gets trained with this. It's kind of like that feeling of picking a scab or massaging the DOMS area. It hurts so good, This I feel like is addressing exactly that spot that's bothering me. All right, so 28. Fuck it, let's go to 36. Look how far down there's left to go, man. So I'll do 36 now. Try and max out this machine a little bit. See what I can do. Lou raises are awesome, absolutely. And Reed, man, especially if you're doing ollie lifting, man, that's where you want to be. Room temp is 77F. 90s are pretty hot. 100 is really hot. Phoenix gets to 118, which is nuts. Probably similar to your deserts. Yeah, Phoenix, man. That is the desert, isn't it? Arizona. Is Arizona Phoenix? Arizona, Phoenix. I think it's Arizona. Have a good workout, Ivan. See you later. Jimmy, you're a beast, man. All the best, dude. Catch you in the next one. Yeah, I'll try to catch you on the next live as well, Jim. I'm biased to enjoy and do raises due to an ollie lifter. Yeah. No, it makes sense, man. And this is the thing, like you pick and choose your tools according to the job. If you're, whatever, ollie lifter, you're going to be here. You finish your sport here. Here or here, right? You don't finish your sport here, right? So it makes sense. Train the damn thing how you're supposed to be playing. Even in the basketball days when I was, only basketball focused, it was always talked about how you want to train like you play. Game situations. You don't want to be just taking shots, standing there and your parent or your friend, whoever is just feeding you the ball constantly, shooting calm, unstressed shots. That's not game-like scenario. You're never going to be completely stationary like that. You got to run through the cones, run around chairs, catch and shoot, catch 1-2 dribble, shoot. Go left, go right, do some sprints, then come down and shoot. Like game situations, dude. That's what carries over. It doesn't carry over for you to just stand around and shoot. You're not going to get those shots. So just like that, when we're in here, the whole idea is to do all of these exercises, not because we're just carpet bombing everything. No, carpet bombing actually takes away from a lot of valuable training you could be putting into the right things. If you're spending a lot of time doing shit that doesn't matter, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources, your energy. You want to be recovering from the right exercises. And so if you're an only lifter, it only makes sense, you gotta be kick-ass overhead. In fact, I remember seeing a video from, what's that guy from Romania, the Ollie lifter? I used to watch a stack of his videos back in the day. He's Romanian, he's like medaled at the Olympics, and I think he got done for doping and some of it was taken away or something, I don't know. But there was a stack of videos that he made where he was talking about, here is a lifter. This lifter has clean and jerk 160. He has a snatch of 140. His overhead press is 80 kilos or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he'll go through the list, his bench press, this, his blah, blah, and he would deadlift, all of that stuff. And he will literally assess the person's lift and be like, aha, the reason why you haven't snatched more is because your overhead press is not, strict overhead press is not high enough. So he would basically say, like, if this person was to overhead press more, they'll be better. In fact, he did one of those analysis on Clarence Kennedy. I remember watching that video. I found it really interesting. And his conclusion for Clarence was that he was never able to strict press enough weight overhead. And he said, like, if he somehow managed to do that, he would have been cleaning and jerking more, he would have been snatching more, because that was his limitation. Now, okay, now we're talking about strict pressing. What about the strict pressing is the limitation? Triceps, shoulders, traps, core, but your technique, whatever it is. And so then you can continually reverse engineer that and then eventually get to a point where, like, aha, it's the long head of the triceps that's really slowing you down here. So bodybuilding is your long triceps, your long head of the triceps. I'm just making stuff up. I'm not even like saying that was the case. But you do that. You address the shoulders. You push your strict press a little bit higher, and then it kind of feeds all the way back to the clean and jerk. And so, like, that's what training is about. It's not just about doing everything and anything, because you don't have a freaking endless amount of energy and testosterone and building blocks within your body to recover from everything. And so the carpet bombing is a I need a drink of water. It's just somebody's way of saying, I don't really know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just going to train until the cows come home and hopefully some of the dots connect themselves. That is not the way to train, dude. Like, that is not effective training. You're going to get to a certain level and then you're not going to be able to break through because you don't have the resources. So I think it all starts with the goal, and it all starts from there. And so if you're a weightlifter, Lou raises, strict pressing overhead, that's where you want to be. You don't want to be doing a bench press. So, yeah, Gabriel Sinclair. I want to call him Sinclair, but it's not Sinclair. I always read it in my head as Sinclair. Advice to enjoy I wish I had a reason to bench, but it just doesn't make sense to regularly do it for me. Yes, absolutely, Reed. That's right. I'm having issues with my split jerk right now. I have hypothesized that my triceps are weak, but trying to figure it out. Yeah, there you go. And this is the thing, you might make a hypothesis and you're like, shit, that makes sense to me. And then you run it over like, I don't know, 4, 8, 12 weeks. And then at the end of that, you're like, shit, I've got nothing out of that. Let's say you've jacked up your triceps. You definitely have some size. You can tricep push down more. You can skull crush more. You can do all sorts of stuff more. Yet the split jerk is still shit. So you can conclude, well, that hasn't carried over. So maybe that wasn't the problem. And this is how you kind of run around. You run around some of these problems and freaking months, years go by. And you might not improve, but you're learning what didn't improve and that what didn't work. And that in itself is valuable information, right? And that's what training is about. This is why this is a long-term journey. You always learn. As long as the passion is there and that is unwavering, you will continue to improve, man. It's just, can you stomach the empty months? Can you stomach the empty years even? Because that's where true knowledge comes from. Like, you can read those little sexy little articles that talk about, hypertrophy in this population, these 12 individuals that have never seen a gym in their life, we put them through this program and it produced 40% more muscle. Yeah, cool, no worries. These blokes have never seen the gym, untrained athletes. When you're 10, 15, 20 years into the mix, mate, like how many studies do you know where 10, 15, 20 year athletes with experience for them 2 decades have been experimented on? You don't see that. And so you're kind of on your own and your peers are with you, and you can kind of get more value out of the gym bro in the gym than the bloody, lab coat scientist that has a beautiful hypothesis about a newborn that was just born yesterday and started lifting. Dude, if the newborn just sits in a chair, he's going to gain size and strength. There's nothing to be gained out of that. So that's kind of the game we're in. And a lot of people like frown upon that idea. I freaking loved it, the idea of me being a scientist for myself. I'm the experimentation and the product. That thing is really, really cool to me. All right, let me get this 36er. The thing with this machine was really bizarre is my freaking hip flex is also coppered. And so getting out of the damn thing is tricky. Weird, man. Weird. All right. I've got a message from the missus and her plans. All right, 36. All right, 20 with 36. Not bad, man. Let's go to 45. I'll only do 20s. I won't do 30s. Just see how high I can get. Nicola says, does cardio kill gains? What about zone 2? Apparently it improves metabolic health and it requires minimal recovery. Apparently increases blood flow, helps gains. All of that. All of that, Nicholas. All of that is good. Which gains are you talking about, dude? Which gains are you talking about? Which gains is it killing? I don't understand what the gains are. Does it kill cardio gains? Absolutely not. It just depends on what your goals are. Like I have some people in my life, some of my colleagues, that when they say gains, they're talking about running gains. They're improving their heart rate, resting heart rate. They're improving their 2K run, 5K run. You need to tell me what your objective is of your training. Everything you do in life needs an objective and a vision, what you're trying to achieve. If you want to be a bodybuilder, a jacked bodybuilder that maximizes hypertrophy, marathon running is probably not going to be your best friend. And so you need to understand there are some things that are just opposite to each other. You cannot be a pilot, for the Air Force, for your nation's Air Force, and also be a YouTuber with 1 million followers, and also have a farm where you grow vegetables and you work 50-hour week there. And also you're a teacher at the local school and you're teaching mathematics. Those things are not possible because all of these things take essentially full-time effort to achieve and to maintain and to keep going on. And so a lot of these things need to be defined very, very well. You need to understand where you're headed. You need to understand that hot and cold are two opposites. You can't have a hot drink that also has ice cubes in it. That shit doesn't work, man. It's one or the other, dude. Like, you want a cold drink or do you want, a cold drink or hot, whatever. I say all of this to say that your goals are important. Your gains need to be defined. And even if you say to me, I want to be a bodybuilder, what do you think about zone 2? I need to say to you, like, okay, what volume, what frequency, what are we doing here? Like, some of these things really need to be defined. You can't just be an empty say like, oh yeah, do you think chicken is good for you? Okay, yes, no, I don't know. Like, it depends who you are. If you've got problems with your gut and chicken upsets you, chicken is bad. Like there's so many different things about that as well. What type of chicken do you eat? Do you eat the good chicken? Do you eat the bad chicken? It's just, yeah, just depends. And everything you do in a way takes away from something else, right? So let's say you want to be an athlete that does one of those, what's it called? Dual athletes. What are they called? Hybrid athletes. You know, they want to do marathon running and they also want to do powerlifting. That is perfectly well. That is a very hard balance to strike, but you can do that. However, you need to understand that one takes away from the other. Marathon running, I have friends that that's what they do. Like literally, that's what they do. And they train, I don't know, 20 hours a week, right? That is a lot of time dedicated to that. And then how many hours a week do you want to put into bodybuilding? 2? 5? Do you know what I mean? Right, so you're going to do 5 hours of bodybuilding that's going to get eaten up by the marathon running. Or do you do 25 hours of marathon running and don't run sore? You're not going to be sore when you do that. Or do you do 25 hours of bodybuilding? Now, each of these singular goals will have better outcomes for those singular groups. When you start to merge two opposite poles, it starts to get very, very shady, especially when you're a natural athlete. Once again, a lot of us are being completely confused by what we see online, by these guys who are juicing and pinning. When you start pinning, you start to blur some of the possibilities. Some of these lines start to get blurred because, you know, you can be jacked while running every single day at 10K. That for a natural bloke is impossible. You cannot be jacked. You can't have full muscles while also running 10Ks every single day. Those two things just don't make sense. So the dead giveaway in a lot of these circumstances is if you see a lean guy with full muscle bellies, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is very, very unusual. Right? And all you need to do is look at the marathon runners. The really, really successful marathon runners are not jacked. They look like skeletons running around. And so pick a goal. If you like both things, it's possible, but you need to understand that they eat each other. And you just kind of have to play with the ratios there. I was having a great peak to a competition and then injured my wrist. Been a rough couple of months trying to figure this out. Things are frustrating, but yeah, just got to keep trying things. Yeah, that's it, dude. Nothing more to it than just keep at it. It would be nice when things click. Oh, it's always nice when things click, man. That's what we live for. Daniel says, oi, they came in. Exciting sup, everybody. What's going on, man? First time checking into a morning stream, 10 p.m. where I'm at. Have a great rest of your day, Ivan. Thank you. JC, appreciate you, dude. Always pleasure to see you here. Nicholas says, thanks for sharing. I'm a BJJ black belt turning 31 soon, feeling my cardio slow down, and I'm looking into zone 2 to be able to do more sparring rounds without taxing my system too much. Appreciate your thoughts on clearly defining the goal. Oh, Nicholas, BJJ. Ooh, dude, I reckon that is a very good mix. I'm not a BJJ black belt. I'm not a marathon runner. I'm just from afar thinking about what I know about martial arts, what I know about fighting game, what I know about UFC. Cardio is king. This is something that that I was surprised about when I was growing up to learn that no, the muscly guy is not a good fighter. I think those two things go really well together. Obviously, BJJ is not, you know, bloody Muay Thai or boxing, but you need to be quite fit, right? I imagine. So I think those two things are not that different, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Jeff, no worries, man. All the best, Jeff. Have a good one. Philadelphia. Colin says, "How you doing, Ivan? My roommates and I just built a wooden seal row bench, and I'm going to convince them to build a wood GHD next. Very excited. Oh, nice, man. You know, I think a lot of this stuff can be built with just simple stuff, man. And I don't know why more people don't build things. Like, it's not very hard to build all of this stuff. If you're good with metal and you can weld and you've got the tools at home, you can build all this stuff. If you're a bit handy with, a measure and a tape and an angle grinder and welding and some basic tools, you can get a lot done, right? And if you're not good with welding and all that stuff, you can just probably use wood. And I've seen guys do that, but just make sure it's strong wood, thick wood. It's not going to buckle underneath you and end you. 45, let's go, 45. Can I get 20 here? Ooh, that was tough. Have I got 55 in me? Let's test it out. Oh, but I have to spread my legs a little bit now. Cramping up. Oh. Yeah, it does feel like an lost art, man. Absolutely. And I don't know why that is, man. Like, I don't know. Like if you own a home, we all have basic tools, like so you can freaking hang up a picture or something. You know what I mean? Like a normal drill bit and all that stuff. Like we've got that. I think what we want, especially like for my case, I don't have too much space. I mean, I got plenty. You can see. Some people don't have any. Like I've got a one-car garage, which I don't have a car in. So that's a sacrifice. Like my car sits outside in the rain and all that stuff. A whole bunch of like gym equipment here. And so I don't have a spot for a workshop. You know, if you have a workshop that you can kind of mess around with and they bring things in and out, that would be kind of cool. You just have to be very careful because you're dealing with lots of weight. And then I don't know how timber goes over time. Like if you were to build a squat rack, a power rack out of wood, does the moisture, does the humidity, does all that kind of like rot it away? Do you have to paint it then and seal it and then maintain it as time goes on? Make sure you continue to apply. Yeah, I don't know. Probably all of these issues that I'm kind of mentioning are 10, 20 years advanced. But yeah, I just don't know. And then also like you think to yourself, if you're not handy, and if you don't have the tools or the space or the time, how long will it take you to get all that right? This is where a lot of people say all the time, is like your time is also important. You don't want to spend 20 hours building something where you can kind of go to work and spend 20 hours working where you get a good hourly rate and then use that time to pay for whatever you want. Yeah, so it's... if you have fun building, it will make sense. But if you don't have fun building, you might as well go back to work and do another 20 hours overtime and get the money and then give the money to somebody who's an expert in building whatever you want. It's just one of those things, man. You just have to pick a lane. Like I appreciate everyone that is into all that stuff. Like my dad is definitely one of them. He's one of those handy dudes. He knows how to build anything, fix anything, whether it's cars, houses, whatever. I appreciate that, but he comes from like a long, experience, long history of working with that, because he needed it, throughout his life. I'm just looking at the glued ham developer, the glued ham developer. Like, damn, like it's not a difficult thing to make at all. Like, what is that? Now, if you want to make it adjustable, maybe that's a little bit more tricky. But as a glued ham developer, for what it is, that is some basic stuff. And I paid $1,000 for that. $1,000 I paid for that. Obviously, it's Rogue and it's the best one and good quality, thick, sturdy. Like, if a car hit it, I reckon the car will freaking fall apart. But yeah. Hey, Miz is here. What's going on, man? Everyone has access to the tool or space. Very fortunate that I am. Yeah, nice. If you got everything set up, go for it. Miz, this new YouTube Crown feature is nice. Yeah, I can't access it, man. I forgot my password. Before you rocked up, Miz, I was gonna log in and have a look myself. I'm just a nobody on this phone right now. I haven't logged on, which kind of pisses me off because how did I screw my password up, man? Let me try again. No, it's not gonna work. All right. 55. Let's try 55. I have to sit forward for those heavy ones because I feel like I'm slipping down the chair. I could probably grab here, but screw it. I'll just lean forward a little bit and crank it. 55. Oh my God, that's heavy. Yeah, can't do any more than that. So I've done 28, 36, 45, 55. Okay. Oh shit, can't bloody walk after that. All right, let me take you to the next station. The next station of goodness. Oof. Got the bloody wobble. I'm wobbling around. Yeah. See, you guys get to see me. Oh, goodness me. The glutes are very sore, you know. And then the cough reminds me, no, Ivan, don't push today. You can't push today, dude. Your lungs are full of shit. So maybe no bench today. I just want to bench so bad. It feels strange to live my life without actually working hard and training hard. Oh man. Alrighty. Now that the hips are warmed up, this should kind of feel better. Why Why is that so low? What is this shit? Have to be careful not to get too bloody excited here. What's the hammer for? Oh, you haven't seen my hammer work. I'll show you quickly, dude. Once upon a time, I had a lot of problems with my elbows from benching with the band. That was a lesson that I'll never forget. Fucking 6 months of elbow pain. And then I started doing this stuff. You grab the hammer as so, usually on the elbow, right when you're sitting down, and you do this business. Doesn't look like much. That is supination. And then the same thing the other way around. Once again, you're sitting down and you do this. Also supination, right? And then the other way, instead of going this way, you can go this way, right? That's what I did a lot with the hammer. And then a lot of this, can you see it? A lot of elbow work, man. Fix me right up. Fix me right up, man. Now this looks high. And this rack has the hole so far wide that, oh no, it's okay. Of course I'm gonna bang it. Oh man, so dizzy. Yeah, I'm not right. Still not fucking right. God, I'm dizzy after 5 reps. God, I feel like I've already hit the reserves. Squad RX, what's up, man? How are you? Looks cold there. 30 some degrees here and dew point 24 degrees. Feeling like swimming. Makes warming up easier though. Damn. Yeah, the extremes of training at home. I know all that very well, man. When you can barely lower yourself onto the toilet after leg day is the very best feeling. Oh, yeah. Haven't we all been there? 10-kilo barbell, supination and pronation. Use a 10-kilo barbell, supination and pronation. No, you can't use a barbell for that. That's way too heavy. The leverage on that is huge. I have a few people in my circle that think exercise and weightlifting is a waste of time. What's your opinion on them? Man. What do I think about somebody like that? Fuck, where do I even start? Well, I think the first thing to say to somebody like that is health. Not even health and fitness, just health. I imagine somebody that has a opinion that exercise and weightlifting is a waste of time probably is not a healthy person, right? Because we all stem from, right, health and fitness. And obviously health always comes first, which is something that the bodybuilders have completely forgot about. Somebody, not just bodybuilders, powerlifters, there's a lot of people that are using stuff. They've taken the fitness thing and the health and, well, actually they're not even fit. Like, yeah, so a lot of these extreme fringes of our community are not healthy or fit, which is freaking ironic in itself. It's just funny stuff. These people have got nothing to do with health and fitness, and yet they are the pinnacle of our circle. It's just funny. Oh Lord, which is probably, there's a lot of similarity there to many other areas. Who knows? You know, the man that runs the hospital is not the most concerned with the community. He's probably just a businessman trying to make a buck in some of these private hospitals, right? Which is funny, right? You've come to an organization that helps people, but you're there getting a profit. Interesting. The world's interesting. All right, 100 kilos. Let's have a look how this feels. Well, doesn't feel too bad. Now, will the dizziness hit me again? Yeah, a little bit of dizziness. When the 100 kilos makes you dizzy, fucking hell. There's a lot of deconditioning that goes on when you spend 5 days on a couch. Never mind, like strength training. The deconditioning, like I've done nothing for 5 days, like literally nothing. So never mind like your glutes and hamstrings and all that stuff. You're not fit. You're not fit for this anymore. You know? Let me put this chair here. I keep looking at this damn chair and I don't do anything about it. No, that's not gonna work. Look at that. Left my phone over there. This is a good position. We can leave this here. Let me hit this 140 first though. And then we can think about what we're gonna do next. Do I do bench press? Fuck, I wanna do bench press. Oh. You guys get to feel and see the dialogue that happens in me every single day. I can't fucking say no to this shit, man. How do I not train, man? All right, 140. That's 140. A bit of dizziness. Voila. Yeah, the owl watches, man. I always try to put effort in. Like, effort is not my thing. you know, a problem usually is just not putting too much effort is what ends up being the conversation with me, man. Like, I just want to train all the time. I love it. Makes me feel good. I love the act of training. A lot of people don't love the act of training. They love the result of training. I legit love the act of training. That to me is an attraction, and always has been. You know, I love to be that gym rat. Even in basketball days, I love hanging around. After everyone leaves, I'm there taking shots. I just love it. I love the act of it. Morning, guys. Squat is an art, and Ivan demonstrates that perfectly. Thank you, Yash. Appreciate you, brother. Squat RX says, make sure you get your electrolytes. I hope you're feeling better. Thank you, Squat RX. You know, I am feeling a little bit better today, but the fever's gone, and so I feel good just from that. My elbows from doing dumbbell curls and supinating too much. Maybe the hammer could fix that up. Try the hammer. I've got a lot of belief in the hammer, for sure. Aesthetic says, do you have a bigger hammer or the smaller hammer surprisingly sufficient for getting blood into the elbow? No, I don't have a bigger hammer. That's all I need. I'll show you in a second what I do with that strap. See that purple strap over there? That's what I graduated from the hammer onto. I'll show you what you do. It's just all arm wrestling maneuvers. Supination, pronation, rising. I don't know what the other one is called. Whatever the other one's called, I forget. There's a lot of techniques like that that arm wrestlers use for their forearms, and obviously they have the strongest forearms around. So if you want inspiration for fixing your elbows, I would always start with the arm wrestlers. See what they do. They have amazing grip, not grip strength in the sense of gripping, but like flexing and extending of the wrist. Bar none, man. They are the kings of that. Miz, always here to support me, Miz. Appreciate you, man. Always appreciate you. The people in my circle say gym time won't make you money. Well, yeah. So these people that are not into health and fitness and are into money are exactly the type of people that are opposite to me. How do I say it? Opposite to me. I don't care about money, and I love health and fitness. So we're just opposites straight from the start. Like we're going to be opposites. I tend to follow the soulful things. You know, I'm not interested in money. I'm interested in happiness. I'm interested in feeling healthy and fit and happy. And what I've learned in my 36 years of life is that a lot of times money is the wrong direction if you want to attain those things. The way you attain happiness is something much more deeper than buying a freaking iPhone or whatever. It's the deeper stuff, and the deeper stuff, I find a lot of the time the answers for that are away from money. And so most of my things that I've done in my life that have made me really happy have not been decisions on money. Think about it, like this YouTube channel, I did not start this to make a single bloody dollar. I made YouTube videos for about 4 years. Nobody gave a fuck, but I did. I still enjoyed it. I love watching my videos back to see how I progressed, what's looking better, what's looking worse. What did I think at this point in time? You know, the community I've created, the people that I've readily have now basically become friends, online friends with me. That to me is unbelievable. Got nothing to do with money, man. Yes, sure, the channel now earns a little bit of money, and with that bit of money that I earn, I'll buy this stuff. I don't buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, like it's not that kind of money. So everything that I earn on this stuff is a separate account, man. I just literally feed it back into this. I buy this stuff. I bought a microphone. What else did I buy? I bought some other stuff. I bought a little GoPro thing, which I had ideas of using, and I never bloody used it. Still on the shelf. But like all these ideas, like it's all kind of come back from that. I bought a deadlift jack. I bought a bunch of dumbbells. I bought a kettlebell. I bought a SSB bar. I bought those metal plates. I bought those. You know, they near $1,500 for that. I bought this bench. I bought this equipment, you know, the latest equipment. I bought that, right? Like, you know, it's all of that stuff. You know, and it was all born out of chasing happiness. It's all about happiness. All right. Let me see how 160 feels, eh? I give 160 a bit of a ride. Well, that kind of felt alright as well, eh? Should I go 180? Oh, fuck it, let's do 180. Give it a bit of a tickle. At least it will give me some satisfaction of training if I hit 4 plates. Some bloody satisfaction. But I'm still dizzy. Wonder what the dizziness is from. Maybe dehydration or something? I don't know. Get well soon, Ivan. Winter stinks. Come to the UK. Summer here, 30 plus degrees now, but doesn't last long. Yeah, I know, Michael. Thank you, dude. I know the UK has a fair share of cloudy days and rain and whatnot. So you would know all about it, man. How often do you train calf and tibialis? I've had stints where I've trained out like a maniac, but right now it is not part of the program. Right now I'm not doing that at all. Stan Gang 8 says, you're the man, Ivan. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Like yourself, very common. Miz, there you go. That's why you and I resonate with each other, man. Visible Aesthetic says, can you buy a mouth camera? We'll have a different kind of point of view from watching the squat. Never before seen oral view of the squat. Temp user, if you were going through a period of restricted strength training for whatever reason, how would you maintain strength? Would you drop volume, aim for heavy singles, doubles as a top set? If you're going through a period restricted strength training, simple. I would just reduce the weight, increase the volume. I think that's always the answer. You remember, in my experience, reps are more important than weight. Just remember that. Reps are more important. Every single time. That's just my experience and my opinion. I could be wrong in other people's perspective, but that's what I reckon. Thoughts on Bulgarian split squats. My anxiety is through the roof before doing them, but the gains are glorious. Well, your anxiety shouldn't be too bad, man. I don't know how much you're loading it. But yeah, you shouldn't be anxious. Nothing can happen. You can't get hurt. They probably, you end up being sore. But yeah, it's a great freaking movement. Split squats in general are amazing. I actually prefer not the Bulgarian version. I prefer when your back leg is on the ground. That's my preference. Miz says, all the money won't make you happy. That's right, man. She'll be all right, mate. Danish. King of Poppy. Christopher C. What's happening, brother? Low to high says, Ivan, my body can handle the volume. Would you say training legs 3 times a week would be viable for hypertrophy? Of course, you could train it 5 days a week. You can train it every single day. It just depends on what you do on those leg days, right? You could make a heavy hamstring day, followed by the next day you do a heavy quad day, followed by the next day doing heavy calves, and then have those 3 exact same days, but with just high volume and low weight. Many different ways of doing it, dude. If you say to me, I'm gonna do full lower body workout, so ham, glutes, heavy stuff, 3 times a week, probably too much. But there are people that break all this up in all these various different ways and still make gains out of it. If you're interested in powerlifting though, you need to practice the movement every so often. And so if you divvy all this up too much, then you start to get into trouble of like running into different things. Like, let's say day 1 and 2, you're doing hamstrings and then quads, but day 3, you're supposed to squat. Well, how do you squat effectively with good weight when you've pre-fatigued these two muscles on 2 separate days, and now they have different recovery curves on that graph? It starts to get a little bit murky. This is why the full body community, they always preach this, is that you put all of your recovery onto the same graph, and everyone's kind of, all the groups are recovering at the same point. So you have this balanced recovery. All right, 180. Now that I think about it, like, fucking hell, I did this for 13. Shit. Now, what I want is 1 out of it. Can't think about those things, man. Those were the good days. Push that shit hard. Well, that was kind of alright as well, wasn't it? That was more than alright, but fuck it, I'll leave it there. Leave it there, mate. I felt like I lost my balance there as well, but it felt light. Felt very light. Well, I'll do some bench. Gotta do some bench, man. These two I'll just leave here. I don't know if I like my latest gym setup. Yeah, this is fucking shit. I feel like I'm in a way of everything. Alrighty, fellas, let me reposition yous. Reposition the lot of you. Come down to the next station of work. How about that, eh? There you go. Now, because I'm in this state of training that is not optimal, I thought about trying a different warm-up today to see how the bench feels. Instead of doing a lateral raises, I'm going to try and do a bit of bicep elbow work. Temp says, I hope you feel better soon. Philadelphia, have you ever had the problem where you do a quad exercise like squat or split squat and one quad fires like crazy? I started getting that a couple of weeks back. I think it's coming from the glutes. I don't know. Only one quad is getting crazy activation, the other one's not, or what? I had squat RX, I had 12 more in me. Fuck. That thought actually makes me nervous. Squat RX, man, it legit does. Fuck. Just the hard breathing and agony. Oh my goodness. What RP do you think that 180 felt like? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. It felt easy as. I could probably get another. If I pushed hard, like right now in the state I am, which would be dumb, I reckon I could get another 7 reps. I reckon I could get 8 reps of 180. Depending on like how they felt and the ease of it, without a doubt, I think I could get it. Without a doubt. However, the breathing and my lungs right now would absolutely murder me. So definitely not doing that. Thoughts on Bogan culture? I love aspects of it. Oh, dude, Bogans are the funniest, man. Bogans are the funniest. And me and my mates, my best mates, we're always like throwing the Bogan jokes and whatever. We love it. What am I doing? What am I doing, dude? I forgot what I was gonna do. I want to warm up the bloody shit, mate. Oh God, please don't do that with these heavy plates. Something about the metal plates that's shit is that they kind of bounce around a lot. Slide around a lot, actually, not bounce. All right, so. Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, this here saved my life, this exercise that I'm about to do. It really bloody did. And I always think about how to do it. This is the supination work, right? You put your thumb in there like that, and you do this, right? Obviously stand up. Don't want to do the pronation rather, that was the pronation. What I want to do is the supination, which is the other way around, funny enough. So, can you guys even see what I'm doing here? And then this. Always burns, mate. Always a bloody good burn. It's a little bit too light for me. So let's go and get the 6 kilo plate or kettlebell. And we just hook the guy on the end of that. You guys see what I'm doing? So what I've done is I've got a 10 kilo plate and maybe I can lower this a little bit so you guys can see what the hell is going on. There we go. Not bad. My squat shot up since I was focusing on that, but I think it came with a price. Yeah. Well, usually unilateral leg exercises balance you out. I don't know how you got into trouble with it though, which is unfortunate for you. Something for you to work out, I suppose. Even with 180 is elite strength. Yeah, I mean, for me, anything that I get, anytime I rep out 180 feels amazing. It feels like that's where I need to be. It's kind of like with the bench press. I feel like 2 plates with the bench press is the 180 with the squat. For some reason, it just gives me that feeling like, okay, I'll be here for a very long time. Do reps with 180, do reps with 100 on the bench press, and it's like springboard effect to everything. That's kind of like for my body weight, it's perfect, you know. So 2 times, well, roughly, it's a bit less, but roughly 2 times my body weight on the squat and 1 time on the bench press seems to be the perfect. Alrighty. What have I done here? I always have trouble freaking setting it up. Why do I have trouble setting it up? So if I go like this, yes. Okay. The only trouble with this is that it kind of kills your wrist. That was 2 sets in rapid succession. Have I cancelled my gym membership money since now you have a proper home gym? I have not been at the gym since January, and I reckon my membership elapsed like March or something like that. So yeah, I'm not going to be renewing anyway. I think the whole gym environment in Australia here is changing. The big Dermot gym chain that I joined up years ago is now slowly dying, it seems. I don't really know what's going on with it, but they've gone from 24/7 type of setup to now limited hours. Lots of people aren't happy. You know, the place is falling apart. You know, a lot of the pieces of equipment in there are kind of like left unrepaired for months on end. People are complaining. So there's a lot of signs of financial strain on the gym. And so as a result, people have all kind of like exited that chain to another chain. Seems like everyone's going to a place called Revo now, which I've done a few videos in Revo as well. That's where that's the first time I found a safety squat bar for me to try. And as a result of that trip to the gym, I ended up buying my own. I fell in love with it. So yeah. So now, like, I wouldn't even go back to the place I was at, you know, like it's different. And so I don't know where I'd go. Would I go to Revo? Not sure. So like I have zero drive to go back to the gym now, especially now that I have all these machines. I literally don't have nothing to do over there. Unless I want to go for a day pass and try something else that's tickling my fancy, but like I pretty much have an idea. The first time I joined up to the gym was for the GHD, bought the GHD, and then I was like really interested about the adductors and the abductors and whatnot. I bought these guys now. I don't know what else I found really. The calf raises, I remember there was a period I went crazy for calf raises. I wanted to see the seated calf raise machine. I did that for a little while. Fucking hell, man. We'll clean the top. Actually, I think I'm screwing up with this heavy weight. I'm not rotating enough. So let me go back to just one. Just go back to one of these. Just the tenner. The other one here. Morning, Ivan. Very late here. Still 24 degrees outside. Happy to trade the weather. Oh man. Yeah, it's midday here. It's not too bad, but it's still kind of cold. And tonight I'm taking the kids to basketball training. I'm coaching the school team, so I've got a training session to attend tonight. And I've got a dentist appointment before that. I've bloody chipped a tooth. While I was febrile and whatever, I managed to bloody chip a tooth. So I've got a toothache here as well. It's all freaking fallen on top of me in the last week. I haven't had the greatest week. So I've got toothache, I had fever, and so now I'm now healthy enough to go to the dentist to get that fixed. And obviously that had to be an emergency kind of, usually they're like 4, 5, 6 weeks in advance. You have to book bloody dentists. But I managed to get in, and so I'll be able to get in today. I'll see her. Hopefully she fixes me up. She'll probably do a bunch of work to fix it. And then training session, and by the time I get home, it's going to be 7 o'clock, whatever. It's going to be freezing, and so I'm not interested in coming out here, doing anything. So doing it now. What's your dream gym setup? I would love to train in those old school gyms from the 70s. Oh yeah, dude. The iron plates, the iron gym. I've got basically the 70s type of gym equipment here. Like it's just, I love what the world used to be back in the day. Now everything is built with less quality, less character. It just feels not as exciting as it used to be. And I wasn't even alive in the 70s and basically most of the 80s. I was born in 89. But it seems like shit was nicer. Like the cars used to be, better looking as well. I don't know, man. I don't know whether I'm just crying about something that can't be fixed or what. Bloody hell, come on. The worst thing is when you bunch it up in such a way that it cuts into your wrist. You don't want that. That is not bad at all. That feels a lot better than the other one. Purely I can get more rotation into it. enough of that for the moment. Let me get benching a bit. Oh. Oh my God. So my normal routine lit me up. I've definitely lost some fitness, that's for sure. I got one more set and I feel like I'm done already with just the empty bar. Can't even get through the warm-up. All right. Wow. Just that simple warm-up has spent my chest. There used to be a freaking nothing much for me. Now it's spent. Gains, Brains and Everything says there's equipment that you can get for these twists that basically are round handle with a chain. Well, I don't know what that is. A good home gym, best convenience, cost savings in the long run in your own workout environment. Eliminates the travel of these public gyms. Yeah, I think the travel is one of the biggest things, to be honest with you, is 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, and I say 30 minutes, even though it might be only 15 minutes, but traffic and the time of day, and then also you gotta, like, I put everything to travel in there, but waiting for the equipment, like all of that adds up. Like I used to, like I've been known to go away for like 4 hours, and I didn't train for 4 hours, you know what I mean? So even 15 minutes here and there, 30 minutes, like I'd rather be here for 30 minutes and just train. Use that time productively, just sit in the car. each their own. A lot of people need different environments and different people to kind of motivate them. Like I understand that as well, but that is not something that I need. I don't need other people's eyes on me for me to feel motivated. I don't need mirrors. A lot of people are like, Ivan, you don't have a mirror in the gym. I don't want to look at myself. Like, I just don't. Like, it's not my thing. I'd rather a black wall, just dull. So I kind of feel like I'm in a dream world. And there's no reflection. It's just calming. That's what I like. Much more than anything else. Right. Let me try to hit some singles. I don't want to work too hard today. I'm going to get in trouble again with this bloody sickness. Let's see if I can hit 140 today. Let's see how the 140 feels. What's freaking shaking? The whole squat rack is unbalanced. If you're ever in the US, because some of these 70s gyms are still very much around. Ever been over here? No, I've never been over the US. It's been a goal of mine for many years, predominantly because of the NBA. I'm a big NBA fan and grew up watching the NBA. In fact, I learned most about the country of America, the United States, through the NBA, learning about different states where teams are and, where the players are from, which colleges they're from, and all that kind of stuff. I learned a lot about the NBA, the United States through the NBA, and so I had dreams about watching Kobe before I retired and all that stuff. But just, it's so expensive, man. And then life went crazy 5 years ago, and then family, university. I just don't have the means to get around there. Twist your wrist roller from Iron Mind. I have one and it's nice. Radial and ulnar extension wrist work. Gotta go to bed. Hope feel better soon. Hope the family's well. Thank you, Squad RX. I'm gonna look this up. Twist Yo. Thank you for mentioning that because I didn't really know what he was talking about, but this kind of clears it up. Thank you, man. Do you take any pre-workouts? No. No pre-workout at all, man. Using your time equipment to maximize efficiency is the key to great workout in the home gym. Absolutely, Miz. Absolutely, dude. No doubt about it. I have considered, Ms. Rep work with 3 plates. What I was hoping is to hit 100 for 30 reps, but then got sick. I'll try and get there. And then I was gonna go to like 120 and do some rep work there. Obviously, it would take me a long time before I get 30 there. But then like I thought, okay, maybe also like do some triples and fives at 140 or something to get me prepped for the heavyweight to set up a PR. The only trouble with the heavier weights is that the chance of elbow pain and shoulder and all that joint stuff really goes through the roof. So I'm kind of scared of it a little bit. I don't like the thought of injuring something. And when 2 plates does plenty of good work for me, I just don't see that much value, if you know what I mean. It's all about balancing all the risks and everything, That's 120. Oh man. For 130 on. See how 130 feels. Feeling stacked about a month now after the big squat routine, bro. Nice. Nice, dude. Oh, dude, when you get to the singles after doing high repetitions, man, you feel so good, man. So happy as well, you know what I mean? Like it's not daunting work like rep work is. Yeah, I mean, it's 100 kilos for reps, man. I really feel like that is the best of both worlds. For me, at my level. It really does feel like that, man. But everyone's going to have a slightly different, perfect threshold for that. Just got to work it out for yourself, man. Like heavyweight is fun. Don't get me wrong. Everyone loves to do heavyweight, but it comes with a cost. And once you've been bitten by that cost a few times, it starts to really drag on. You don't want to spend too much time there. And even in the case of like the AMRAP period with the squats, like I did so much work around that. I wish I did lives back then so you guys saw the amount of work that went into just to keep the hips happy. That's all I did, man. That's all I did. It's like the set takes whatever, 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever the hell it took, 2 minutes. But there's like an hour around it that I have to do to make sure she doesn't hurt. It's just funny, man. Oh man, that felt heavy. That felt really heavy in my hands. Whew. Felt terrible. Terrible. Goodness me. Well, I don't know if I'll get 140, fellas. I really doubt it. But let's give it a go. I feel like the chest feels pretty good. It's just my hands. My hands are so weak. The hands feel weak. I really have to take this out. This is annoying. This plate, it just makes noise for no reason. It's gotta go. All right, 3 plates. And let's see how that goes. I've been pushing some of my lifting clients with the AMRAP sets across a few lifts. Seems like when you get into the high reps above 12, you really get a lot in the way of momentum, confidence. Hell of a nice runway too. Yeah, you know, it's just good work. It's just good work, and for multitude of reasons. Like there's so many reasons that come to mind. It's like a rehab program rolled into the same set. It takes care of everything. It feels good. You build muscle. The joints feel happy. And in my case, I've had the translation into strength. Heaps of practice. I love the idea. I don't know. I love the idea. I feel like most of your training should be spent with high reps. Essentially do what bodybuilders do. Obviously, the bodybuilders fall short in terms of strength because they don't practice the movements, they don't pick the exercises required for you to get stronger. So they just look for, aesthetics, whereas I look at function. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing my back training for lats. I'm doing my back training so I can feel tighter in the squat and the deadlift. So it's a different perspective. And then when you have that bodybuilding cap on, when you're doing these accessory movements, you're thinking through it like, okay, how is this going to carry over? And so exercise selection is a lot to answer for when it comes to why bodybuilders are not strong. You don't just do everything for the sake of doing everything. You're doing certain movements, like let's say barbell rows. We all know barbell rows are amazing for deadlifts, right? Well, that's where I would spend most of my currency, into barbell rows, more so than whatever lat pull downs or pull ups or whatever people do. It's not about the activation. It's not about the pump. It's literally the barbell row mimics the movement and sensation I will have when it comes to the deadlift. And so if I do a shit ton of reps in that, it's going to carry over nicely. And so that's why I think reps are so valuable. Obviously for bodybuilders because they get bigger and whatever, but for powerlifters, you keep healthy, you practice the movement, and you just sink in a lot of healthy work into movements which are going to carry over. So it's just like, I don't see the reason why you'd not want to do that. Whew. All right, let's see this. 140. Am I going to die? Is this high enough? Yeah, it's high enough. Just in case if this shit really overpowers me. Alrighty, let's give this a crack. Well, how the fuck is that possible? How does 140 feel better than 130? I don't know, man. How did that look? Did that look pretty good or what? I don't know what I did with 130, but 130 felt like hell. Felt shocking. This felt a bit better. A lot better. Maybe I'm sick and my bones fucking still hurt. I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, there you go. You guys thought it was pretty good as well. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, boys. I'm trying to gauge what I'm gauging and I'm still fucking sick, man. I don't know what I'm doing. That's enough. Maybe I'll do some bench tomorrow. Let's see how tomorrow I feel, but I've got sore bones and I'm trying to fucking bench. And if I failed that, it probably would have played on my mind. Oh, fuck, maybe the reps don't work. Oh, fuck, you know, this, that. Shut the fuck up. All right. All right. So now, what do I do now? I'll go back to some of this goodness here. I just feel like I'm not training. I'm just messing around. That's what it feels like. But I'll do some more fluff over here. I call it fluff, but it's like the best thing ever. But I yearn for like heavy work, like bench press. I really wanted to bench press today, but probably not the best idea if I'm not 100% right. But I'm just asking for trouble. Ay, ay, ay. Sometimes you live for the body, sometimes you live for the soul. I'm glad you checked the box. Even it's for the heart today. Yeah, man, I resonate with that so much. Like I'm not ready. Still not ready. It might take a few more days to get my reserve back. And the thing is, when you're sick, you don't eat. You don't eat well, you know. So you're in a state of fasting. I probably lost a bunch of kilos as well. I haven't weighed myself, but I've eaten poorly in the last few days. But yeah, it's good. It's good to feel some weight. I felt 180 today. I felt 140 today. You know, so my forearms got my hands, chest, upper body felt the 140. Now I've got a bit of a buzz going through my hands. That's cool. The 180 also felt pretty good on my back. That felt pretty good. Yeah. FB Tube says, "Hey Van, it's been a while since I've been involved in your chats. I've been watching your recent videos and I must say you've come quite a long way. Keep being you, my friend." Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. That's really, really cool to hear from you, man. I recognize the username for sure. By the way, that 140 moved like butter. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. This stream is helping me trudge through my shift. Hello from Canada. Hello, Nikolai. Good to see you here, buddy. Hopefully the shift is over soon, eh? Yeah, what should I do? Let's go back to 45. Let's try 45, eh? Oh my God, the cramps. The cramps are nasty. Oh, David, I can't believe you got the hip machines instead of the leg extensions. Oh, David, you must not know how I got through the machines in the first place. It was an auction. And so all of these 4 machines that you see here, maybe you don't see this one here, the 45 row. I got these 4 machines for under 2,000 Australian dollars. And the leg extensions and the leg curls were kind of the first pieces to go on. Oh my God. Yes, I also bid for that as well. I bid for like 15 different machines, dude. Definitely leg curl, leg extension, Nautilus pullover, lat pull down. Man, I went for all that shit. You know, at the start of the auction, it's just $0, right? So fucking hell, I'll take all of it for $100 each, no worries. Went to the gym, checked it out. They were like, hey man, we heard there was about 40 people going to be in the auction. No worries, cool. I rock up. Fucking hell, man. Straight out of the gate, leg extensions, bang. Fucking $2,000. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It went very, very expensive. Leg hamstring curls, very expensive. Nautilus machine, I'm like, I'm going to go for this one. Bang, there was 2 of them. I went for both of them. Boom, $2,000. What the fuck? This is secondhand shit. This has been like, the gym is like 30 years old. This is 30-year-old equipment. Obviously, really good stuff. Maxim and Nautilus, like really good stuff. But still, $2,000 for a secondhand thing. Anyway, it went on and went on. And then I got really hot about it. I'm like, okay, I got to pick something here, man. I need to get something out of this. And so I went pretty hard on the 45 chest supported row. I got that for $650. I never thought I was going to spend that much money. But anyway, $650. And I'm like, haha, I got something. I got something out of it. How the hell are we at 20% battery already? Fucking hell. So I got that and I was like, sick. And then I realized nobody wanted the incline, this one here. You can barely see it. The incline 45 bench press. I put $100 and I got it for $100. I was like, sick. I got 2 things. And then this machine came on. And obviously a lot less interest in this. A lot less interest. No one gives a shit. And then it started hitting up a little bit. So I ended up getting this one for $520, I think. And then when I got this for $520, I was like, sure, like this is amazing. I love this. Really happy about this. All the other ones blew up. And then the next one over there, the adductor machine, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go to war on this. Even if it's freaking $2,000, I'll fork out. Like I can't have this without this. And so I went crazy on that one. And that one stopped like at $450, $430 anyway. So I ended up getting both of these for less than $1,000. All of these, everything included, including the shipping and you know the auction fee and everything was under $2,000. So it worked out really well, man. And so yes, leg extension. I would have loved the proper leg extension. I would have loved the left hamstring, but maybe next time a gym closes, I'll go to that and I'll try and suss it out. Greg, what's up, brother? Greg is here. Majority of the session, just finished my own session. How was the session today? Oh, Greg, I'm still sick, so I just kind of touched a bit of heavy weights, but nothing for volume. I did no volume today. I did 180 squat, 140 bench, and just gonna spend some time on this, and that's it, man. How was your session? I know you're probably going nuts with yours. David says, sounds fun. I feel like these will help you with the deadlift the most. Yeah, I think so. And maybe this one also with the squat. Thanks, Naz. Thank you, dude. Although I think during summer, this is going to get really, really bad, this spot here. The sun's just come out, beaming through. Straight away, it's like increased 5 degrees of the room, if not 10 degrees. It's all of a sudden hot in here. I might have to do something about that. This is very hot. Yeah, we'll have to think about that later on, I think. Oh, 45. Oh, goodness. See how it's too hot now all of a sudden. As soon as the bloody sun comes out, too hot. Might have to do something about this later on. How do you like the incline bench? I've only had one session on it before I got sick, but I liked it. Feels really good, and I'm gonna supplement my normal bench work with it. Sets to 20, that kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. Ali Khan. Has he really been squatting for this many days? I'll let you fellas answer him, I suppose. There's no point in me trying to convince him. He probably won't believe me. Today was my shoulder and arm day. Got 135 bench for 8. Amazing. 85 OHP for 9. Going to take a few sessions before I can get to 10 with both of those now. Dude, that is amazing. Bro must have calves like Hercules then. See sub account. A day 5,000. Are you able to jump over tall buildings in a single bound? Easily, man. Not even a question. Oh, man. Thank you, Greg. A day 10,000 baby land. Yeah, man. All of that. It's always interesting to me when people, especially at work, people that hear or find out that I do YouTube and they're like, oh my God, he's got a Ferrari, You can see it on their face. People think like I'm some superstar. And you can see the cogs turning in their head. Hold on a minute. So he does YouTube? Holy shit, what's he doing here? Like you can see the cogs turning in their head, like, all right, so is he doing nursing just for fun? Like, And then, so that's that. But like, I don't know if some of you boys feel as well when somebody asks you, how long you've been training, and you're like, 10 years or 15 years, or some people probably say 30 years. And the very next thing is, okay. And they can look at you, they're seeing you, and they're like, but shouldn't you be like Arnold Schwarzenegger if you're that big? If you've been training for that long, you should be bigger than that. You can see the people that don't understand the business, that don't understand the topic at hand, they make these assumptions like, okay, well, if I've been, playing basketball for 15 years, you should be in the NBA. If I've been playing football for 15 years, I should be playing for Liverpool or Manchester United. What do you mean you look like that after training 10 years? Shouldn't you be like Arnold Schwarzenegger? You get a lot of these reactions from people that don't know nothing about training. And it's kind of like that with me when I tell people I've been squatting every day for like 2,000 days. They're like, oh, but why do you look normal? Like, why? So, like, what did you get out of it? I didn't get anything out of it, man. I love to do it. Oh, okay, that's weird. That's really weird. Because people have this like relationship in their mind that you don't do something for the sake of doing it. You do it because you get something out of it. And a lot of people have this perspective in relationships as well. Like, why should I be friends with you? You're a cleaner. Why would I be talking to a cleaner? You have nothing to offer me. You know, that I was going to say tapeworm mentality, that parasite personality that only is near you because it can suck your energy. And it's funny, right? Because everyone in this world has something to offer. Even the guy that has no money to his name at all, he has lived for X amount of years. He has a perspective. He has history, he has understanding, he has knowledge. You know, I just thought about it now. You know how like you have cryptocurrency mining, right? Well, it's kind of like that. Every mind in the world can mine crypto. In the case of the human being, we are mining experience, mining a perspective. And so everyone has something to offer. Everyone is mining. And so when you speak to somebody, even that's a cleaner or a rubbish collector or whatever, that guy has experience. He has something to offer. But a lot of people don't see that. And so when you introduce yourself like as the YouTuber or somebody that's done 10 years or 15 years of lifting, they're like, oh, but you don't have a Ferrari as a YouTuber and you don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger after 15 years of training? You're a fucking loser, bro. Like, what are you doing? It's a very immature thing. And ultimately, you know, I feel sorry for these people because they're gonna earn a very, very harsh lesson eventually in life, that's not how it works. And eventually they are probably the ones at risk that are gonna get into a bit of a depression when they see that 99.999% in the world do not have a extraordinary life. Most of us are gonna live the same fucking life. Most of us are not gonna break world records, no matter how hard we try. Most fail, most lose. But these immature minds, they think, well, here is a fella that's trained for 20 years and he doesn't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. What a fat F on a report card you have, my friend. But that's not how it is. It is definitely not how it is. Because through the art of training, you are not just getting gains, physical gains, and experience about the thing, but you're learning about systems underpinning all of these structures and systems. You're learning about human movement. You're learning about emotion. You're learning about psychology. You're learning about motivation, inspiration, hardship, coping mechanisms. You're learning about discipline. So many things underpin, oh, but I've got a 180 kilo bench press. My friend, in order for you to get to 180 kilo bench press, all of these mentioned things need to occur. It's impossible. You cannot get to some crazy level of benching without any hardship. You're going to get pains. You're going to have to work around those pains. You're going to have to understand what's the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, what is the shoulder rotator cuff crap? What does the lat do? Oh shit, that internally rotates. The chest also internally rotates. Oh shit, so how do I externally rotate? Oh, okay, maybe I'll do some Ys and some Ts with bands. And so it's like an endlessly looped thing. You know, that cleaner that you might not be wanting to talk to, he might have a freaking investment portfolio more worthy than your whole freaking net worth. You never know. But these short-sighted people will not tell you what they think, but you can see the cogs turning and their demeanor change. You know, how many subscribers, Ivan, do you have? I've got, 100,000. I hate talking about YouTube for people that are not interested in this space at all. I hate even mentioning about some of my colleagues. They're kind of proud of me, what I've achieved, and they kind of like shout it from the rooftops. But I hate talking about it, but it's like 100,000 and they're like, oh, and you can see their demeanor change. Straight away, they get closer. They're friendly, more friendly. Dude, don't look at me as a YouTuber, bro. I'm Ivan. I'm the nurse that's working here. I'm not anything special. But some of these people that you meet, whether it's in the gym or through like social gatherings, they see a gold mine, but there's no gold. This, what the fuck is this? This is not gold. Like, I'm not a rich man, but they see something, they're like, ooh, I know Mr. Beast has like trillions of dollars. Maybe this guy has millions of dollars. It's not like that, dude. Just go back to your own shit. Just treat me like you were treating me before you learned this information. It's almost palpable. Ivan, you've been training 15 years and you deadlift 280. Oh, but there's a kid that's 17 years old, he deadlifts 330. Like, you're a fucking loser, bro. Like, you're a dad of 36, still training really, really hard, and your deadlift is only 600 pounds. There's a kid that's 16 that's doing that. Okay. Are you trying to insult me? Like, what is the message here? And oftentimes you can't even get on the, like in Serbian we say, you can't find zelenu granu, you can't get to a green branch. You can't find a common path with some of these people. It's like, what triggered me to say all of this is when people like this, they're like, oh, 2,000 days, so he's got huge calves, he can jump over buildings. I know these are jokes and whatever, but a lot of people are like assuming that I'm a superhero because I've done this. In the last 5 years, I've done maybe 50 sessions. This guy's done 2,000 sessions. So that means he's 10 times better than me, 40 times better than me. It's not like that, dude. It's just an interesting perspective to wrap your head around. And I almost hate, part of me hates the 2,000 mark. Some of me hates the fact that I've been training for 10 years. I wish I was training a fresh start now with the knowledge that I have, obviously. And so I don't have that aura, like that, what's the word? That expectation. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, after training 5 years, he did this. You're a loser. Yeah, that's it. Genix, exactly that. Oh, man. Let me get a sec here. 45, let's go. Um, um, yeah, it's nice. The old school shape. It's pretty nice, man, I must say. You your channel in a while. Yeah, I don't know how to say your bloody username. FH, I got this recently. These red machines. I got them in an auction for a fraction of the price. So I got really lucky. Taking it also helped me too with less fatigue during workouts. Does he train hip thrusts also? I don't know who you're talking to, John. Me or somebody in the chat? Ali Khan, yeah, people forget the gear also boosts recovery tremendously besides the massive increase in muscle performance. Koi, Ming, Ivan, you probably know this feeling more than many others. But what should I do when I'm weak and can't lift the numbers I set for the session? Well, do what I just did, man. I'm not feeling very strong, and I just picked something. I picked either weight or reps, and I just aim for that, whatever the case might be. And most of the time when I'm feeling terrible like this after a sickness and still dealing with the sickness, I just go, you know what? I'm just gonna bloody hit some singles. So I did singles for squats and bench, and come back on a stronger day to actually train properly, which is the reps that I'm, my usual routine. So it's okay, dude. We all have days like this. You just have to weather them and adjust, auto-regulate, and go from there. Nothing else to it, man. What year were they made? I don't know. I don't think it says here, but the gym, was put together in the 90s, 1990. So a 35-year-old gym. So it was brand new 35 years ago. So there. Yeah, well said, Greg. That's what it's about, man. Just gotta push forward, man. Oh, man. I'll do 2 more of these, and I'll go on the adductor and finish off. What's my opinion on ATG Ben Patrick? I like the guy, absolutely. Breath of fresh air, really different ideas, really unique ideas, self-taught from injuries, from experiences. Actually, I watched a video of his yesterday. I don't know what he was about. He was talking about one of his programs, and was talking about some of his ideas, which I find interesting. I'm a big fan of listening to content from other genres. So I love listening to sprinters talk about sprinting, arm wrestling, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. I like to see everything, and even like gymnasts. How do they get so strong? If you just focus on your own on your genre, you become very short-sighted, because everyone has a body. We're all the same, and we have to kind of work with whatever we got to kind of get to the goals that we want. And there's a lot of stuff there. So in my mind, I've always said to myself, there's a lot of carryover there, right? So imagine if I had forearms and lower arms, elbow down development, even just all arms in general, like a elite arm wrestler. Do you not think that would translate some way to your other lifts that we care about? Let's say the bench press, the deadlift, the squat. In some shape or form, it's going to benefit you, man. And I learned that about arm wrestling when I had trouble with my elbows. I started looking into that world, and all this content started popping up everywhere. I don't know anyone, other than 1 or 2 big names that kind of transcended, into general populace. But I didn't know much about anything, and I started learning, and I was like, holy shit, they train like that. Could I train like that for legs? But, it just sparks a conversation. And then I met actually at the gym, I met a few fellas, one in particular who was like a proper, he competes in arm wrestling. And I'm watching him train, and I'm like, wow. We start talking, starts teaching me some stuff, and I'm like, damn, there is a lot there that I could not even do a fraction. This pronation and supination is basically my answer to my elbow pain. The reason why I had pain is because I had no strength. I'll start doing this stuff, boom, start to feel good, start to really develop some of this muscle, and then this muscle makes you feel really, really strong in the bench press. Okay, now I can do more volume in the bench press. Oh my God, the bench press is going up. It's all connected. It's all really cool. One more. Can you full stack this? No, definitely not. Probably the adductors I can. I could probably do the adductor machine, but not this one, no way. Oh, for like a set of 1, probably. But no, like for sets of 20, like what I'm doing. Half of my training is Ben Patrick's movements, and the other half are movements I've handpicked over the years to be the best at developing raw strength in the various muscles of the body. There you go. I didn't know that. Ben Patrick, you're big into that. I train arm wrestling for free drinks. So yeah, there is a great carryover. Oh, I love it. ATG and Ben Patrick is not absolute muscle strength. It's just about joint dominance, performance and strength. Impact with rotation. That's perfect storm for TBI. Yeah, for sure. I don't understand that sport. That's one thing's for sure. Like how many slaps before you have a bleed? How many slaps before you become concussed and you have a brain injury? I don't know, man. Each to their own. Why the hell you'd want to do that? I don't understand. Nice. What was that? Oh. The little cap fell off. Oh, man. Maybe I should put the cap over here. No, it's... Ivan, do you have any goals, lifting goals for the incline bench now that you have one, like maybe 100 kilos? In the gym, I reckon I've done 100 kilos for 5. Oh wait, was that maybe that was the decline? I can't remember now. But yeah, I could probably, I could definitely do 100 kilos, I think. I don't know. For me, I'm just aiming for reps, man. Like I'm not even like thinking about anything else. So the first time I did this, the one at home here, I got with 60 kilos. I did 20, 15, and 12, I reckon, 3 sets. And so my aim is to get multiple, sets with that. But it's always going to come after the normal bench, right? So, most of my time incline is going to be after the flat bench. So I'm always going to go in sore, pre-fatigued. So I'm not really treating it as a major thing. It's just a slightly different angle and a bit more pump work. Oh my God, we're down to 10%. Have we gone through the whole bloody battery? All right. Not a lot of time left. Oh. All right, last set here, and then we move on to the sister machine. This is the bad girl, and this is the good girl. You always finish with the good girl, man. You always end up with the good girl. That's the thing, man. It's kind of life, isn't it? 45, baby. 45. And 2 zigzags. Maybe that's all we need. All right, partner. Keep on rolling, baby. Keep on rolling. At least getting into this machine is kind of easier. You just kind of sit down. Oh. So do you do a whole body workout every day? No, I wouldn't say I don't focus. That's not my focus, no. Nope. Lifting goals before you turn 40. So I've got another 4 years. 300 deadlift. Let's be conservative. 230 squat. Who knows if that happens. And 180 bench, I think. That would be that's 180 bench, hopefully before then. Hopefully, I don't know. I reckon I've got 160 in me soonish. So another 20 kilos over 4 years, I think that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? I don't know. Might be being really optimistic here. I don't know. Bad boy machine. Everlast, howdy Ivan. What's up, man? Have you dished high volume squats like the 30 reps you were doing daily? If so, how come? Rob, yeah. Oh, dude, last time you watched me is probably 2 months ago. Rewinding the film back. It was amazing. I loved it. Fixed my hip, fixed my groin, fixed everything. Everything felt good. But I couldn't progress it. It was very difficult to progress. It was always hurting, always painful with 60 kilos for 30 reps on the SSB. So then I was like, okay, this is not going anywhere. Let me try deadlifts instead. I tried deadlifts for sets of 30, similar weight, and same thing. I was like dying with just hyperventilation and pump work, and it was just like, this is cardio more than anything. Even though it feels good, I feel like I can't replicate what I'm getting with the bench press with the sets of 30 in the lower body movements. So then I was like, okay, let me have an arbitrary idea and say squats probably are best around 10s and deadlifts with 5s. And so then I started doing 5s on the deadlifts. And at this time I stopped the high rep squats altogether. I just focused on the deadlifts. And I did that for a few weeks and then I got sick, which brings me to this point. And so now I'm thinking I don't want to do any of that during winter because winter is notorious time for me getting sick, and all of that work pushing heavy weight, like I got to 220 for sets of 5 on the deadlift. It's very taxing. I still want to do it, but I know in the next few months the kids are going to get sick a few more times, and I really don't want to burn the candle on both ends and get myself into trouble again with too much training. Now, what am I doing here? 32, I think, is plenty. Oh, God, that is fucking good. Oh my God, this is always so good to finish the session off with. I can't even get back down, which tells me I need a bit more weight. Let's go 40. 40, man. Let's chuck this in here for the second. The gynecology clinic is here. Right here. Do you use isometrics, yielding, overcoming? No. No, nothing like that. Gotta head to bed. Genix, thanks for the company tonight. I've been running through programming for a bunch of my guys and it's all so monotonous. You have a good night's sleep, man. Get that quality sleep, dude. I'll catch you next time, huh? Greg, this back section to Ivan's garage area works so well now that it has more equipment. Ivan's gym is really looking aesthetically pleasing to me, especially for a home gym. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Slowly coming together. You know, this was kind of my garage. So now I've thrown everything into the garden shed and I got a lot of crap to sort still. But yeah, I think eventually what I would love to do is build a shed, like a proper shed. I could put all this stuff in so I can put some cars in here, but the funds are not there yet. Maybe one day, I don't know. Even this is pretty good, you know. We'll see. I could probably bunch him up a little bit better. Right now it's kind of fairly spacious. I could definitely bunch him up a little bit. Yeah. I keep looking around to see where would I put the leg press. Oh, I gotta love it. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. What the Google machine provides stability and emotional support. FBG, man, that's so good. David Cassie, that was awesome when you hit 215 with the baddie watching. You know, you could hit 230 if you focus, bro. You have to put the adductors on the pedestal, bro. Yeah. You have to put the adductors. It's funny, but yeah, the adductors are really, really big in squatting. Really, really big. So is the side glutes as well, to be honest, man. Like it's all the same. It all means something. You know. It's that whole hip. What's hips? You know, it's not just glute max, it's all the rest of it. And these two guys will definitely serve me well. It's cheap, effective work, you know, without targeting the low back at all, you know. Bring up weaknesses effectively. Rob says, fair enough. I think the system fatigue is too high on high rep squats and deads. My recent thinking is to do similar volume over sets of 50% for 3 sets of 10 multiple times a week. Yeah, you would definitely get away from the whole breathing hard thing if you did that. Yeah, it's worth a thought. Low fatigue, higher skill practice, base building, I guess. Then maybe sprinkle some lower reps if I want to peak, but have to bulk as the above. Yeah. Yeah, but you got me thinking real good now, man. Yeah. What I'm thinking now is what if you just turned around and said, you know what? Instead of having one set absolute gutting out, set of 30, why don't you do like fucking, you know, even if the same weight, let's just talk about the same fucking weight and let's do half. Instead of doing one set of 30 that really smashes you, why don't you do half of that weight, half of those reps, and then do it 10 times? It's just huge comparison for comparison's sake. 10 times. Imagine doing that shit 10 times. So you're getting 150 fucking reps versus 30. A lot of people would say that's fluff volume. But maybe that's what you need for lower body, fluff volume. Stay away from the really, really tiring work and just accumulate work. Accumulate those sets. And per week, per session, damn, like you are 10xing what you'd be doing over here. Don't know. Oh, you're about to do splits with this machine. Feels like it, man. A couple of more of these pads, and I'll get there. I think that's actually the first thought that I had when I saw this machine for sale. I was like, I'll be able to do splits with this. Because it's about getting strong in the end ranges. It's not just about stretching. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Beautiful machine. Absolutely beautiful.